Good morning, Dr. Bill Williams here on the Influencers Podcast. It's Friday, right before Christmas. We could almost say Christmas Eve is today, tomorrow. We're going to have a really big weekend. People traveling all over the globe to their families. But today, we're going to talk with Lisa Benson of DeBella DeBall Designs. What a good way to start off our holiday weekend. Welcome to Influencers Podcast, Lisa.
Hi, Dr. Bill. How are you?
Good. I love your background. It's looks like the cherry trees of Yokohama.
Yeah, I got it because my room's really pink and I needed something that kind of balanced out the pink.
That's lovely. Thank you for being here with us on the podcast. And we want to find out all about you, what you're doing. You've got some really interesting background that I want to share with the audience. I'll let you tell them about your expertise in marketing and design. And you have a special love for the veterans of the world. So where do you want to start off telling us about where you started, how you got going, what inspired you to do this?
I started off like everybody. I went through high school. Well, most of us, I should say. I went through high school, and I got my associates in marketing and broadcast television, and I wanted to become a news anchor. And then I realized that I couldn't afford college. So I decided that I was going to join the Army to help pay for that. And that was pre 9/11. And then we all know what 9/11 brought to us, which put me in a place where I had to deploy. And when I deployed, I was a machine gunner overseas in the Sunni Triangle with 369 Transportation Battalion. And it's kind of got a very sweet spot for me, a very hard spot for me, and it kind of drove my mission. When I got back, I got my master's in public administration because I wanted to help veterans. And then when I figured out that space in the government wasn't really there to make the influence for change, I kind of floundered for a while. And then in 2009, I started doing marketing for a nonprofit, which was a roller derby league. And that kind of brought joy. And then it also helped with PTSD from deployment. And that's where DeBella DeBall came from. That was my roller derby name. So from there, I started my own business in 2015, doing some marketing, and truly went into full effect in 2017. And then still kind of floundering. And shortly after that, I found that helping veterans was still in my mission. It was still in my heart and it was still in my soul. And I pivoted my business to be able to support them. Not just, you'll hear later when we talk motto, my goal and my motto is to help veterans thrive, not just survive post-service.
Excellent. You know, you really hit a point that really struck me when you said you were searching for your purpose, and you tried a few things. You came back because it was really your purpose that was driving you, that got you to that point where I can do this no matter what failures come up. And in a minute, I want you to give us some background on some of those failures, because we learn from what we fail more than from what we succeed. But I like the way that you found your purpose early in life. And if anybody's out here listening, and I know there's about 190 countries that listen to this podcast on a daily basis, you find your purpose, and then whatever you want to do in life is going to work. You got energy if you got your purpose. So talk about some of the things. You said you were not succeeding in everything you were doing. So what was one of the things you did that you learned something from that you can share with us?
I was not listening to my heart. That's my biggest failure. I don't like to call it regrets, but it was the biggest learning point. So that's why I consider it the biggest failure. Because to me, failure is just a stepping stone to success. Not listening to what I wanted to do and who I wanted to serve meant that I wasn't feeding my soul and I wasn't giving the best of me to the world.
Well, that's the reason that everybody should take heart. You've seen some people trying to make it in business because you've been in marketing now for a while. What can you share with our audience about why people don't make it? What don't they do they should be doing?
The biggest one is, it's great that they make their mess their mission, but they don't actually see they don't do the market research to find out who it is they're truly serving. A lot of people like to say, I serve everyone. So that would be point 2. I serve everybody. Yeah, that's great. You serve everybody. But if you serve everybody in your marketing space, you're serving no one because no one's hearing you. Your message is muted.
So you
And
got to
then
be,
the last,
you got to be down into a niche if you're going to sell a product.
Mhm. And even if your product is global, talk to each audience you want to serve in a way that makes sense to them. And then the last one would be trying to do everything all at once. Prioritize your tasks, build it out, and then make those goals achievable and attainable. Make them be a stretch, but they don't have to be everything all at once.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's one of the repeated messages that I'm getting when I'm interviewing marketing experts like yourself. You've got to select your audience and you've got to speak to them so that their ears are open. If their ears are not listening to your message, you're not going to sell. What about
And when you create your content, you got to make sure that it talks to them too, because there's a lot of people who like what they think it should look like. And in reality, it's not speaking to the audience that they want.
Yeah, yeah. I totally agree with that. I taught dentists for many years, and I always wondered why they don't all just flock to my courses that I teach. And I'm sure the content that I wrote spoke to me, but did it speak to them? And so the flock always follows what the flock's interested in. That's for sure. It's not always the same. So you mentioned that you're really focused on helping veterans, and that motivates you internally. That's your focus point. What is it about the veterans that gives you that soft spot?
One, I served. My father served, my brother served, and my husband served 20 years and retired. I have my grandfather who just passed away is a retired Air Force colonel. So I noticed that there's some similarities in what they want in life and how they feel lost when they come back from serving. So I want to be able to give them hope and goals and a mission that's outside of the mission that they had when they served.
I got you. Because a lot of people in the service go through some pretty tough times. And when they come back, they don't get that emotional reward. It's tough. So I'm glad there's people like you that actually have been through it and can understand it, because we all need support, particularly our veterans. Tell me about DeBella DeBall and what is the motto of the company?
Well, DeBella DeBall is me. That was my derby name, like I said, and I wanted to be able to keep that once I retired from roller derby. But the whole motto is helping veterans thrive, not just survive post-service. It doesn't mean that we don't serve other people. It just means those are our primary target, and those are the people that I have the softest spot in my heart for, and those are the people I want to serve.
All right. I like that. Now, you had a great motto also on the website. You talked about your focus was on helping veterans dive into the trenches with them. I like that. It's a very visual, I think, knowing that you're a gunner, a machine gunner who is actually in the trenches too. That like solidifies the vision. And tell us about the success secrets that you can help us diving into the trenches with the veterans. I mean, I got it. What else do you do?
The biggest thing for me is I am stubborn towards my mission and my goals. Those are the things that I am going for, and those are the things I'm pushing the hardest for. The others will come along, but that's the primary. Then the second is you get up earlier than the rest. You do the work. It's not, the genie powers are busted. We don't have what I can't even remember the genie's name, her real name, but she's no longer here. We can't make a wish on this kind of stuff. We have to do the work. And the other is find something that fills your heart, fills your soul, and listen to it.
The genie in the bottle. She's not coming out.
No, she is not.
I got that. My focus has always been serve the people, the money will come. And money's always good if you do the right thing for people. I mean, our economy is based on serving others. Those who don't serve don't really win.
That's a
Hopefully.
good way to put it. Very good way.
Yeah. So why would somebody buy from DeBella DeBall, become part of your team?
Well, I would love for people to buy from DeBella DeBall because I want to help them survive or thrive, not just survive. I want to help their business grow. I want to be able to walk hand in hand with them so that they can get the success that they want and they need, because most people need that success. One, to fill the internal, but two, to fill the pocketbook, to pay the bills. I have a team of people that are amazing around me that we can help you from coaching to the marketing to building your business from the ground up. So we've got so many aspects that we can help anybody in their business and get them to where they want to be.
Absolutely. Well, you started talking about some actual services and products. So tell us more of the detail. What are they?
So my primary is marketing. I can do consulting with your marketing. I can do done with you, done for you, and do it yourself services. And that's from PR to website to funnels to everything you need in your marketing ecosystem. And then we have I can help you consult that, or we can help you build it. We also do some coaching. I have a partner agency that does coaching that I would refer you to if it's something bigger and more and robust than what I can serve. I am a life coach, but that's not where my heart is. My heart is in helping them market their business. So I partner with some people that is their mission in their life.
Absolutely. You've got a well-rounded background, and you know your limitations. You use referral sources wisely, it sounds like. Who's your ideal client?
I'm going to be generic and go against everything I just said. Veterans. Actually, it's veterans that own small businesses, but specifically businesses that are under $200,000, start up to the $200,000 range. When they get to the $500,000, I can still help you, but there are better agencies out there that can serve you exponentially.
Okay. Well, that's very niched. I don't think that's general. Veterans, how many thousand veterans are there now like just in America?
The number fluctuates. I know there's 982,000 on LinkedIn right now. That's my very specific. That's where I did most of my research and did my outreach and to find out if what I had was there to serve. So there's 982,000 on LinkedIn, but I know there is more than that.
How do you find your ideal client?
I scour the internet like the rest of us. There's actually Bunker Labs, which is a veterans organization that helps veterans starting their business. I live right near an installation, so I go to the installation and do some presentations, go to colleges that serve veterans, and then Veterati, plus LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an excellent resource for finding people in your niche.
Yeah, LinkedIn is one of our go-to places. And when we talk about online platforms, you got LinkedIn. What else do you have that's useful?
LinkedIn, the traditional LinkedIn and Facebook are primary. And it depends on if I'm looking for if I'm looking for the younger audience, I'd probably be on Instagram. I do work on TikTok, but I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok because I find I do more research than I actually do creation when I'm on TikTok, which means I spend a lot more time going like this and watching than I actually do preparing content. So I would say LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram.
How about the audience? You have to know where they hang out, don't you?
Yeah, that's why I said when I'm looking for the younger folks, I'll look at the Instagram. Pinterest is another option. And really just when you're in the Facebook, don't spend the time on your Facebook page. You actually have to find time in the Facebook groups and serving people within the groups on Facebook.
Absolutely. Is there any competition in the space to helping veterans that you know of, or are you pretty much it?
There are some others in the space, but they typically look at the higher end businesses, 500,000 plus. Most of them are actually starting to look at the 7-figure businesses. So we're serving a similar audience, just not the same audience.
So you got your sweet spot identified. You've got your niche, the military. Do you prefer the Army, the Navy, the Marines, or the Air Force, or the Coast Guard?
Well, I am Army. My family, other than my grandfather, was Army, so I'm Hua, go Army. But I think that everybody's got their place. Absolutely, everybody has their place.
And my brother was a submariner. You still take care of submariners too?
Oh, I would help submariners any day. I couldn't do it. I'd have claustrophobia.
I know what you mean. I was Air Force ROTC myself, so I was trying to fly above the ground to get a better look.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what you do to create 5-star client experiences.
I spend a lot of time at the beginning. I spend a lot of time nurturing them, asking questions. We all have those questionnaires. I like to ask the questions in person and fill it out with my interpretation. So that way I'm able to really hear them out, hear their vision, like how we're having this conversation right now. Clients are passionate about what they do. And if you don't capture that passion, you're never going to be able to tell their story the way they want to.
You have to hear what they want. Listen to the person. I made my practice one of the top in the U.S. by being a good listener, and I designed my entry exam as the secret weapon, and I would do the listening before I would do the examination. And we spent time away from the operatory in a consultation room setting, just sitting knee to knee, eye to eye, and talking before we ever talked about the dentistry. And getting to know somebody is always important, I think, before you actually start giving them recommendations. You do that in marketing also?
Yes, for sure. I'm just thinking I would have loved to have gone to you as a dentist, because so often you aren't talked to. You're put in a chair, you get your teeth cleaning, and then they say, oh, you've got this, this, and this. And then the doc comes in and fills your teeth, and there's just no human interaction.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, I rebelled against that system, and I kind of enjoyed being the guy that was different, because it made my job easy to be successful. And if you do that in business, any business you do that interacts with people before you actually try to sell them something, you're going to do better. So how do you get the clients to turn into brand ambassadors so that they recommend you, get that big referral base?
That 5-star service, but also I'm still available to them, even if they're not with me for long. If they have any questions, I'm an open book. Anybody that has any questions about marketing, we can sit down and have a conversation. It doesn't mean that I'm going to give you every little bit of marketing to do to make your business successful. But if somebody sends you an invoice that doesn't feel right, if somebody's trying to sell you something that you don't think you really need, feel free to reach out to me, and we can talk about it and see if it is a fit for you. Because I've had too many clients that have actually come to me because someone tried to sell them a package of something that was full of everything that they didn't need. They didn't get clients out of it. And in fact, it set their business backwards.
Yeah, it cost a lot and drew in very little ROI.
Yes.
Sounds like you're not going to leave the trench. You're going to stay in there with them and fight.
Exactly. It's my job to hold it, because there's more troops coming behind them.
There you go. The analogies are so good. Duck when the bullets fly, but don't leave your trench. So what are you grateful for today, Lisa?
I am grateful, one, that I got the opportunity to speak to you, but two, that I lost my grandfather 3 days ago. I got 46 years with him. 46 years with my grandfather. So I'm very grateful for that time.
That's wonderful. It's painful when you lose your best friend. Oh, yeah. I got to know both my grandfathers very well, so I feel very fortunate that I had many years. And I lived with my granddad after I got out of dental school, and I was just graduating before I actually set up my practice. I lived with my grandma and granddad for a whole year. And so that was a wonderful year, and couldn't have been better.
That's
So I
amazing.
know granddads
I
are
got
very
to
special.
spend 6 weeks with him 2 summers ago. He built a cottage with my great grandfather in 1945, and he couldn't go up there by himself because he was in his 90s and nobody wanted him to be up there by himself. So my husband and I went and worked with him and worked from home up there with him so he could spend his summer in the place that he spent his summer his whole life.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, that takes me back to the times that I would spend with my dad and my granddad down in Florida in a place called Panacea. We would go fishing on the panhandle of Florida in Apalachicola.
Oh, I bet
Just
that's
the summer
awesome.
place was always special for us kids. How about you? What was your location of that summer place?
It was Long Point, Ontario. So when you look out in Lake Erie, it's across from Erie, Pennsylvania. There's this little sliver of sandbar that sticks out, and that's where that cottage is.
And it was definitely a great summer place, but how about the winter? Was it kind of chilly up that way?
It was very cold. We never went up there during the winter time. I grew up in Buffalo, but I live in Texas for a reason. It's nice and warm here.
Oh, we're glad you came down south. I'm in Atlanta, so we appreciate our warm winters rather than what happens above the border up there in Canada. Nice people,
Exactly.
but brutal temperatures.
For sure.
Yeah. So, how do you start every day? What's your early reveille?
My early revelry is 4:20. My dogs wake me up to get their food. We feed them. We go out and go for a walk, and
Wow,
then we spend some
4:20.
time outside getting fresh air. And
Well,
then
you
about
beat
6
me.
o'clock. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I say that beats me. I thought I was getting up early when I talk about 5:30. 4:20 is really good.
It's just the time that they wake up, and it's easier to get up and get them food than have them jump on you and request the food more aggressively.
Yeah, the only 420 I can think of is the Sweetwater 420 that they brew here locally in Atlanta. Oh gosh. So you've got big goals. What is your big goal that you want to achieve in your business from here out?
I want to serve 200 veterans a year is my goal. Serve 200 veterans a year. So each year serve another 200. It doesn't mean I leave the others out of my ecosystem. I just add an additional 200 until I no longer can serve that many people.
Super duper goal and very concrete. I have a feeling you'll do it. I have a feeling that your message will be clear and that you'll attract those people. They all want an advocate. We all want an advocate, but I think veterans especially want a true advocate. Looking back, if you say, I'm going to do this thing, what would you tell your 20-year-old self you should do?
I actually wouldn't change much. I wouldn't change much at all because I wouldn't get to where I am if I changed anything. Now, if we we're going to say pie in the sky, follow your heart, follow your dreams. But as a reality, I wouldn't have been able to come to the dreams I'm at if I wouldn't have gone through the strifes that I did.
Yeah. Well, you're the second person in a row who has said the exact same thing. They wouldn't change it. They would do the same heartaches, the same mountains to climb, same successes and failures. So they got to where they are because they like where they are. So there's something to be said
That tells
for.
you you're comfortable where you're at when you get to that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'd change much of anything I'd done. And, 47 years as a dentist was a long time, but it's good. But I'm doing this, having fun with Influencer Podcast and talking about IT products and things that are coming in the future. So it's a good place. We're all moving forward. Do you particularly have a person you follow, a living mentor right now?
That was my grandfather. That was him. So my family are very good mentors. I have a very solid network of people that guide me. I've got very good friends that check in pretty regularly. But my hero was my grandpa.
Wonderful. So being impactful, I know, is very important for you as your focus is on serving others. What else about being impactful is important?
Being impactful for me means that I'm leaving I'm leaving the world a better place. I don't want to be a drain on energy on the people around me. I want to be somebody that is a force for good. So that's why I want to be impactful.
Sure. Well, I hope I'll be able to help impact people just like you do. Help introduce people. That's kind of one of the things I like to do, is connect people together who could help each other. So as we do the Influencer podcast, you join our network of people, and people learn who you are. They learn what your goals are, your focus, your passions. And when we unite people with the same passions, link them together hand in hand, we do more. So I think you're going to do well with the 200 year goal, increasing your veteran impact. So you'll be remembered by a lot of people. In your words, what do you want to be remembered for?
Being a light. Just that's the best way to say it. Like I said, I don't want to be the drain. I don't want to be the negative. I want to be the light. I want to be the positive. I want to help people.
You want to be the shining lighthouse, the light on the top of the hill. Show people the way.
Doesn't work well in the trenches, but at least I can call them to where I'm at.
There you go. Call in. You want to direct the artillery.
Yep.
There you go. How can we support you? How can people find you and link in if they want to connect?
So I'm Lisa Benson with DeBella DeBall Designs. So if you look the two of those up anywhere, you will find me. Just make sure, there's a lot of Lisa Bensons out there, but if you see DeBella DeBall Designs, that is me. And the best place to find me is on LinkedIn. The other places to find me are DeBellaDeBallDesigns.com and DeBellaDeBall.com. You'll see a whole bunch of veteran things on there. Like I said, I serve veterans typically, but I also, if you need some marketing help, marketing questions, feel free to reach out to me. It doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter who you are and who you serve.
And we'll put the connection links in our show notes on YouTube. We will be on, this is actually going out live, of course, on Facebook and LinkedIn, YouTube, and it'll be on a website that I'll show you the link in just a minute. So we definitely will put your word out about what your strengths are that you want to be promoted about, to the veterans of the world and others. You have many people that are clients that are not veterans, I'm sure.
Yes.
Good deal. What is your word about being a guest on the Influencer podcast today?
I think that this is an absolute pleasure to be here. You're a fun kind of guy to talk to, and I love that we were able to relate on stories about the people we care about, and it just makes us more human, and I think you bring the humanity to the people you talk to.
Oh, thanks so much. Being a dentist for 47 years, I was kind of stuck in one place, and being on the Influencer podcast, this is just like I go to work, but I don't have to do the dentistry. I just get to do the talking. Oh, that's kind of how the conversations would go when I was in the preclinical area, talking to my clients, my patients. Mm-hmm. We would talk about all kind of things and then get around to talking about teeth once I kind of understood who they were. So it worked for me, and I'm glad now that I don't have to do the teeth, I can still do the talk.
I love it. I love it.
I want to give you the final word before we go into the next segment and let you talk to the audience, Lisa.
I think the biggest thing that I would love for people to do is live their truth and live their life. If you're a veteran and you need help with that, you know where you can go. I can help you. I can give you resources, or I can be that resource. If you are someone that's just going through life, please live your truth, live your life. Don't get distracted by the naysayers, and turn this off every so often so that you can be the true you and live your best life.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for that final word. I take it to heart that the people listening, who are especially the veterans, are going to really remember you, Lisa Benson of DeBella DeBall, and they're going to connect you to your business as a marketing resource for sure. Speaking of marketing, my QR code is always available to be seen on the Influencer Podcast because people want to know where they can find out more about what's going on. And this is a link to my digital business card. Of course, it's the OVU card that I use. And that card is a online web presence. And I really focus on two things, Lisa. I'd like to promote all the different podcasts that I've done on the Influencers Podcast on this website, drbillwilliams.tv. And so one of the things I always believed in is when you market, you need to market your location, your name, and what you do. So when I was a dentist, it was Swanee Dental Care. You know, it talked about what I did, where I did it, and how I did it with care. So that was kind of a focus for me. And now the Influencers Podcast is basically bringing people together, influencers of the world, and putting them in one place for people to find many resources for many things. And so you've joined the ranks of influencers now in our group worldwide, 190 countries. What else is on there? Well, we talk a lot on the website about AI technology, and AI is the future of business. Everybody who's not into AI will fall by the wayside. And if you're using AI, you'll still be competitive. That's what we know. And if you're a marketer, especially, you need to have AI background and utilization. So we have software products. If you want to build a QR code, for instance, you can have that built with OTrim. You can do a custom URL, shorten it like Bitly. But what else is good about that? It's free. We give it away. So if you're in marketing, you have to have loss leaders. You have to have things that bring people in, right? Well, we have many of those. And so one of the things that I give away is the OTrim for people to create the QR codes. So you can use that. Lisa, give it away to all the veterans and they can use it for free. What else do we have? We have tracking for analytics for any website. So all marketers would look at this and go, why do I need that? I've already got Google Analytics. Well, we're cheaper and we're better and we're easier. So that might be three things that would get somebody to look at it. Just having it cheaper and better and easier. Why not? A lot of people say, what else do you have that's really good? And we always say our flagship product is the OConnect, which is like competing in the video conferencing space. We all know that there's one that took off and did well during the pandemic and took over number one spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one will replace that one. We have more features, more benefits, and we're much cheaper. What you pay $6,000 for to get $20,000 to listen to your podcast on, we can give it to you for $125.
Wow.
$6,000 versus $125. What do you think is going to sell?
As long as you package it right.
And we're better, as far as all the features and benefits. So one of the things that we're introducing would be translation from one language to another so that I can hold my podcast in German, French, Russian, Chinese, Hindi, Arabic, all at once, talking to every audience. I speak in English, they hear it in their language.
That would be amazing.
That's going to open up some doors, and other places aren't using that yet. So we'll be the first out with that. So all these things are fun and we all enjoy them. But the last one I wanted to talk about that I always promote as this is free also. We give this one away. It's called OBless. And it's kind of like a fundraiser, a way to help people who need a job to actually have a job, and they can build their nonprofit, they can build their startup, they can build their church or synagogue, they can build what they want with the help of others. And so we give this away as a marketing platform for companies or for nonprofits to actually connect and raise funds and actually have an income generated through sharing the technique. So all these things are part of what I do, the AI software product line, and they're all available at any of these that you go in. They all go to the same place. So we can have custom URLs, and they all go to wherever you want them to go. You can have a different website, a different landing page. So I think, you know, I would be welcome to give all these to you as a gift, and free trials of anything that has a fee in it. You can use free trials to learn about it. And all your veterans, same thing. They can have these for free if you want to give them to them. So that's pretty much the message of the Influencers Podcast, is to let's share the good news. Let's link hand in hand and find like-minded people. If you find people that want to serve, people with a heart, and people with a mission, you probably got a success. And that's what we're looking for. Thank you very much for being part of our influencer group now, Lisa. And any last words you want to say as I close it out to the audience?
No, I just want to thank you for having me on here. This is a wonderful experience.
Thank you so much. And we'll look forward to getting back with you a little later today. We'll have another episode of the Influencers Podcast, but this has been a wonderful session with Lisa Benson, DeBella DeBall Designs from Texas. No better place. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.